Hello, and welcome to this week's PennEnergy News Update. On behalf of our generous sponsor, Deloitte Center for Energy Solutions, who made this broadcast possible, I'm Hilton Price. The European Union has agreed to the terms on a new set of sanctions for Iran. The new restrictions will begin July 1st and will focus largely on a strict ban on petroleum product imports from the Middle Eastern nation. The sanctions also include bans on dealing in gold, precious metals, and diamonds. The most immediate impact of the decision was on oil prices, which rose sharply on the news. Iran has responded with continued threats to close the Strait of Hormuz to oil tankers. Oil ships going through the strait carry around one-fifth of the world's supply of oil. Western officials say a closure attempt on the strait would not go unopposed. The U.S. Energy Information Administration says shale oil could help America become substantially less reliant on foreign sources of energy. The energy agency suggests the rising prominence of shale oil development should lead to a dramatic rise in oil production in the U.S. between 2010 and 2020. The EIA estimates that oil production will rise nearly 22% to 6.7 million barrels per day, from only 5.5 million barrels per day. The estimate dramatically outstrips previous estimates for the country's production. The EIA also notes the growing use of domestic natural gas resources and renewable energy projects as additional ways to reduce reliance on imports. President Obama's denial last week of a permit for the Keystone XL crude oil pipeline is creating problems for some proposed crude oil pipelines and opportunities for others. Another proposed pipeline, Northern Gateway, seems to be a beneficiary of the Obama administration's decision. That project, valued at approximately $5 billion, would stretch from the oil sands fields of Alberta to export terminals in British Columbia. The pipeline is being developed by Enbridge Incorporated and has run into the same kind of political and environmental opposition that stopped the Keystone XL. First Titan Corporation has finalized a purchase agreement to acquire a working interest in the Big Canyon Prospect oil and gas lease in West Texas. The Big Canyon Prospect covers approximately 640 net acres in Terrell County. First Titan acquired the majority working interest in the lease from Mesa Chica Geophysical. The company now owns the right to drill one well on the lease within 6 months and a second well in the 6 months following that. Vermilion Energy has completed its previously announced purchase and sale agreements with Total E&P France. Vermilion has acquired working interests in 6 producing fields located in the Paris and Aquitaine basins in France. The assets are expected to average approximately 2,200 barrels of oil equivalent per day of production in 2012. Vermilion paid approximately $108 million cash at closing of the acquisition. Thank you for joining us this week. For these stories and more, go to PennEnergy.com.